This conference will now be recorded.
All right. So, what was the concept we have discussed in the day before yesterday's session?
It is it was about the
I believe
MQSI report the properties of the execution group and how to change the JVM things.
all right. So, some in-depth properties of broker and execution group related things that we have discussed about, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Now it's time for us to move on to a new concept that is called data source naming. In short form, it is also called DSN. I hope you can see my screen.
Yes, I can see it.
Okay. So before discussing about the data source naming, let me tell you one thing. Okay. So if you remember in the demonstration part, we have discussed about three things. I mean, the advantages of IIB. So the first thing, IIB is used to transfer the messages. And the second thing is, IIB is used to route the messages from one queue to another queue. And finally, IIB is used to store the messages in the database. So these are the three advantages of IIB. So if you consider the third point, IIB is used to store the message into the database. It means that the message broker is having the capability of connecting to the database. So the service, the concept we used to use to connect the broker to the database is it's a DSN concept. With the help of data source naming concept, we can provide a capability to connect a broker to the database. So let's see now what is a data source name and how we are going to implement it. So after this session, you will be able to understand what is a DSN, what are the types of DSN, usage of DSN for a broker, creating ODBC and JDBC connections for a broker, and verifying the ODBC and JDBC connections to the broker. These 5 points we are going to understand after this discussion. So
Yeah,
DSN stands for data. Yeah, go ahead, Kelly. You were asking something.
Yeah, your voice was breaking. I don't know why.
Am I clear now?
Yeah, you're good now.
Okay. So you were asking something. Tell me.
No, actually, I was why we always have to like use only ODBC or JDBC. Is there any other options?
No, there are no other options. We have to use either ODBC or JDBC so that the broker will connect to the DSN. There is no third option.
Okay. Just give me a second.
Sure.
Go ahead, Mohan.
All right.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, no problem. Okay. So let's see what is a DSN. So DSN stands for data source naming. Generally, DSN you use to connect a broker to the database. And there are two types of DSN. One is ODBC, which stands for Open Database Connectivity. Second is JDBC, which stands for Java Database Connectivity. So the difference between ODBC and JDBC is very simple. So ODBC is this connectivity is open to all. So there are two types of databases: ODBC database, JDBC database. ODBC database, with the help of ODBC database, the application which is developed in any language, whether the application is developed in Python, the application is developed in Java or .NET or C, C++, Ruby, whatever the language is. So any application can connect to a broker, can connect to the database with the help of ODBC. But JDBC is specific to only for Java. It's a Java-based connectivity. Only the Java-based developed applications can use the JDBC. So there is a limitation in JDBC because it allows only Java. But ODBC type of database, it is open to each and every application. So the thing is, in the real time also, and if you go to any IIB project, mostly 95% of the cases, you see the ODBC database only, because a broker it can support multiple applications, right? Whether the application developed in whatever the language, that is going to support for ODBC. JDBC, these kind of databases very less. Okay, but whether it is a ODBC database or it's a JDBC database, the process is same. How the broker is going to establish the connectivity to those databases, the process is same. Okay, now let's see creating ODBC.
Is ODBC like open source?
Yes.
So you can connect to it for free. We can connect to it free.
Yeah, we can connect it to free. It's again depends on if it is like a Oracle database, it is like a SQL database, whatever it is. It again, I believe Oracle never give it for free, and Microsoft never do the SQL for free. We have to purchase it. Here, ODBC, JDBC, I'm talking in the perspective of applications, not in the perspective of databases. Do not get confused there.
Okay, so what you are saying is even under ODBC, we have different databases like SQL Server or Oracle database.
No. That's not what I was telling. I was telling if the database is, whether it may be a SQL database or it may be a Oracle database, whatever it is, so it can be in ODBC format or it can be a JDBC format.
Oh, so ODBC and JDBC is just simply a format.
Yes, that's right.
Not the database itself.
No, not the databases.
Okay, okay.
So and one more point I was telling is in the real time, mostly all the databases of type of 95% of the cases they are ODBC, not the JDBC, because to the JDBC database only Java applications can connect, but to the ODBC type of database any application can connect.
Yeah, it is a flexible. ODBC looks flexible.
Yes, right. So to say frankly, in my career, I have never seen JDBC type of databases for a broker. I have seen only ODBC types of databases.
Okay.
Because ODBC is having a lot of flexibility when compared to JDBC. Okay, so let's see how to create ODBC data source for a broker. Now the thing is, consider we have a data source, we have a database. I want to connect. Now I want to make my broker to connect to that particular database, to that particular ODBC. So let me show you how to connect to that. For that, let me open a document.
So this is the format. Hold on.
let me show you that format. So here, yeah. So the DSN connection setup. So generally, we have to do 4 things from our IIB admin side so that the broker will be getting the capability of connecting to the data source. Data source in the sense the database.
So this means when the one you say the DSN connection setup, it is like a DSN configuration.
Come again with your question. I didn't get it properly.
Here, number 14, it says DSN connection setup. So is that equivalent to DSN configuration?
Yes, that's right.
Okay, go ahead.
Okay. So the first thing is okay. Okay. So the first step is we have to set the database parameter to the broker. So to set the database parameter for a broker, the command we have to use is mqsi set db params, and then give your broker name -n your service name, your DSN service name, and -u the username to connect to the service and the password for this particular user to connect to the service. So the thing is,
what's the service name?
yeah, that is what I'm going to tell you. So the service called DSN service name. This service is going to be created by IIB developers. So the developers are going to share us the service name and the username of the service and the password name, I mean the credentials of the service, they are going to share with us. So how they are going to create a service, they have some logic in their integration toolkits. They have to they will be in touch with the database team to get all these things. Okay, so it's not IIB admin job role that this creating the service name, giving this credential. It's not IIB admin job role. It is a IIB developer role. They have to sit with the database team for creating a service and getting the credentials for those service. Once IIB developer get those services, they are going to share with IIB admin, hey, this is my service name, this is my username, and this is my password name. Can you please configure my DSN for the broker? Now we can say, yes, we're going to configure the service name. The thing is, if the IIB developers not shared these details and they just blindly say, can you please put the DSN name? Next, the immediate question the IIB admin has to ask is, kindly share the service name and the credentials so that they are going to share with us. Without these details, we can't create the DSN service. Okay, so when we set this database parameters, the broker will understand, okay, this is the service name of the database and this is the username and this is the password. Fine. And the second step, we need to set the initialization in the odbc.ini. Okay. In addition to these things, there is something called odbc.ini file, odbc initialization file. In the odbc initialization file, we have to provide an entry for this particular server because this odbc.ini is the initialization file to configure to connect to the database. Okay. Let me open a notepad. Let me write down something. Okay. So to configure the DSN, the first thing we need to use is we need the service name and its credentials, and second thing, the developers are also has to share the service name and the host name where database is exist, and the port name, the port number where database is running. These two details also they have to provide so that we can configure the database. For example, with the help of MKSSA DB params, yes, we are going to configure our broker to use this service with this credential. The second is we have to open the ODB.
Sorry.
Yeah, go
So
ahead.
like MQSI said, DB params is syntax and the BR1 is our broker. Then that minus N service one is a database service, isn't it?
Yes, database service name, exactly.
So the service we're gonna connect to there.
Exactly. With the help of this service.
And the user ID and the password is like whoever gonna connect to that thing, he has to put this user ID and the password every time.
No. This is the when the database team is going to create a service for a particular database, they have to give a username and password. That username and password we have to provide. It's not the person who is going to connect to the database. It is their user's name and password. No, it's not the case. It's the username and password of the service name.
Of the service name, yeah, of the service name, right. The service they have it there in their database.
That's right.
Okay.
And the second thing is the database. Okay. So first of all, let me execute this command. No, first of all, let me explain each and everything. Then we start the technical implementation. So the thing is, we have to set the initialization file of odbc.ini. In odbc.ini, let me open the odbc.ini. So odbc.ini is in this path. So our broker installation path, there will be something called odbc directory. Inside this, there will be another directory called Unix odbc. There we can see a file called odbc.ini. So let me go and open this file. cd opt IBM MQSI 9.0. In this folder, there is something called ODBC. Okay, do you see that?
Yeah,
ODBC?
yeah, right there, yeah.
ODBC. So inside ODBC, there will be something called Unix ODBC.
Unix ODBC.
Yeah, here it is. CD Unix ODBC. Now we are in the path of OPT IBM MQSI 9.0.2 ODBC Unix ODBC. So here there will be a file called odbc.ini, which is odbc initialization file. See, there is something called odbc.ini. When you open this file, now this file look like this. Okay, so this file look like this. So here we have to make an entry for our DSN. For example, the format look like this. So we have to mention in the square bracket, there should be some service name, there should be the driver name, the description of the DSN, the host name of the database, port number where the database is running, and the service name where we have set for a broker here service name, right? We have to set the service name, this name. So remaining these things, keep them as it is. So for example, let's consider the service name they have given us is, I mean, the developer told dropped an email that the service name is service 1. And yeah, so the driver is going to be, it's like
Sybase.
Go ahead, Khalil, you were saying something.
Yeah, go ahead. No.
Okay. So the broker installation path ODBC version 7.0 LIB UK RO 26.ASO. When we go to this path, we can see the driver name. This has to be mandatory. With the help of this driver only in the broker path, the broker successfully established the connection to the database in the backend. So it is going to be OPT IBM MQSI 9.0.0.7, which is our broker installation file. I mean broker installation path, and then ODBC v7.0 and then library and then UKORA 26.so. This is the second thing. And the third thing is going to be host name. So the host name is going to be the host name where your Oracle server, your Oracle database is running. So for example, they told that the host name of the database is something called 192.10.1.2. So we had to give that host name, and the port number they told us is it is like 1478. And now the service name. The service name they have shared with us is says they have already shared it, right? Server one. No.
Yeah.
Not
Yeah.
server one. It's like service one. So put the service name here. Service one. Now the meaning of this thing is with this service name, the broker is going to connect to this server for this port by using this driver. The broker is successfully able to connect to the database. And these are the parameters we have to pass. So let's give it.
So we're gonna edit this file.
Yes, right now we are going to edit this file. So go to the bottom of the file. Okay, let me do a copy. So this entire this property file is very important. If they don't share this initialization file, we have to specifically ask them. Shift insert. Okay. What is the service name?
Oh, we put service names there. Service one, I think.
Yeah. It's a service one. Then the driver name is going to be.
So they're gonna give us the driver name too.
No, driver name we should aware because it's a sample format. It will be installed when we install the broker, and this is the fixed and permanent part. They won't give us. It is it's our responsibility. We have to identify. It will be in OPT, IBM, MQSI 9.0.0.7. I mean not 7, 2.
So it is just the one you copied already, yeah?
That's right. Now the
So
description.
we don't need to write it again, yeah?
No, we have to write it.
We copy.
We have to write it. No, we have to write it because when we copy, we copied this thing. It is like this broker installation directory. So we have to replace it with the actual installation directory part.
Oh, okay. Says your broker installation directory plus just to everything after that.
That's right.
Okay.
Okay. And the description is going to be could be anything. So it is just for our information. So I am writing to connect to service one data source. That's it. This is just for our understanding. This is nothing to the broker to do. Now the host name. So what is the host name where my database is running? This is the host name. Copy, paste. And the port number where our database is running. I mean, with the help of which port we can connect to the database. It's 1478. So copy, paste. Then the service name. What is our service name? Service one, right?
Mm-hmm.
Service one. That's it. So remaining all these things, don't change them, just keep them as they are. So save it file. I'm saving the file. Fine, I saved the file. Now odbc.ini. That's it. This is the thing what we have done, service one. Okay, and before that we have to do this thing, right? Set the database parameters in case I set DB params. So do this thing
like
also.
still what we did is putting the configuration in the broker. Not still we didn't do the connection to the database. Yeah.
Yeah.
We didn't establish the connection in between the two yet.
No, we didn't start the connection yet. So the first thing is we have to do this thing. Actually, we have not done this. So let's do this. Copy. Okay, so MKC DB params, our broker name BR1 is already running. This is my service name. This is my username. This is my password name. Now it says successful command completion. It means that now broker will understand, okay, I need to connect to this service name with the help of this username and the password for this user. And in my initialization file, I have the configuration of for service one. So to establish a successful connection to service one, I have to go to this host name. I have to establish a connection to this host via this port to connect to this service name, and I have to use this driver name. Okay, so that is the meaning. Hope you are getting some clarity with the step one and step two.
Yeah. So first we compile this, the one we did as second, MQSI said DB params. We can do that one first, and then we can edit our file and put these informations in the broker. Yeah,
that's right.
We can do either way, or it is a must to send one first.
Yes, it is a must be sure.
So which one is appropriate procedure? Editing the file first, or using the
both are fine. You can edit this first and then later you can do, or else you can do this first and then you can later you edit. But the right approach would be first of all do step one and then go for step two.
Great.
All right. Now the third step is going to be we have to set the environment variable for our odbc.ini. So in the second step we have edited odbc.ini, right? So in the third step we have to set the environment variable for odbc.ini with the name odbc.ini. Hope you know how to set what is an environment variable, right?
What is that about? I'm not clear about it.
So environment variable is something where we are going to instruct the operating system, hey, this is your connection parameter. You have to connect to this thing for this kind of stuff. I mean, giving an instruction, giving an external instruction to operating system, that is called an environment variable. Okay, so export is the command to set an environment variable. See, the thing is, in the operating system level, we have configured this thing. Now, how does your operating system, your Linux operating system, where broker is running, it is going to understand, okay, I have to connect to this thing. The thing is, broker has to establish a connection to the database, right? So it has to take the help of operating system with the support of an environment variable to connect to that particular ODBC. So we have to execute a command called export odbc ini equal to this thing, our odbc ini file. So let me execute this.
So what that home/mqm is, why that is there?
No, this is for the permanent thing. Okay, let me tell you. First of all, let's ignore this for some time. First of all, let me finish this and then let me come to you here.
Okay.
Okay, so let me finish this. Export odbc ini equal to this thing. Copy. Paste. Now something got executed. If I do export, now we can see something called odbc ini entry here, right? So all these are the environment variables for the connection parameter to give an instruction to the operating system. Here, this part ODBC INI, we just added it with the help of this command. Now, this operating system and the broker both understand, okay, this is the initialization file where I have to connect. All right. Now, I have logged in as which user? MKM user, right?
Mm.
And all these are the environment variables for MQM user. Now we have set the environment variable for ODBC INI. Now I am exiting from MQM user. Again, I am switching back to MQM user. Now again, if I do export command, oh, still it is showing ODBC.ini.
Yeah.
It shouldn't. Actually, this should go when we log out from the when we log out and log in from the MQM user, because it is not set for permanent, it is set for temporary.
Oh, so
But
it is like we set the MQSI profile for permanent.
that's right. That's right. That's why this line is there. Actually, it's not bash profile, it's like profile. This would be enough. Okay, then let me do one thing. I just have some doubt. Oh, that's why it's already there. Okay, hold on. I got it. Export ODBC INI equal to. Okay, now see there is nothing for ODBC, right?
Yeah. What did you do?
No, I just removed it. When we do export ODBC INI equal to, it means that that particular environment variable will be vanished.
Oh, okay. Export is for what if you
Export,
typed only export? Is it going to work?
sorry, come again.
What if you typed only export without any yeah.
Enter.
Mm-hmm.
It is going to display already setting. I mean, what the environment variables which have been already set. It is going to display all those things.
Oh, okay. It is almost like MQSI